Hey guys, so this is kind of a update vloggy sort of thing. A couple things. I've been releasing a few of the videos on the channel, getting ready to kind of launch everything, and I'm super excited. And I wanted to introduce you to the newest member of the Puzzle Nation, the newest member of the Jabaspie channel, and that is your good friend and mine, Baby Cthulhu. There he is, right there. His little wings. He said, "Hi." So anyway, there's Baby Cthulhu. He's gonna be with us during our time. And Baby Cthulhu, I have to tell you something. And I have to tell you guys something. Because I had the chance to experience something that I know a lot of people have had a chance to experience, but I personally have not. Now, I have heard all about the new VR experience with the Oculus Rift, with the Vive, and with the what the PS4 is coming out with their system as well. And I have heard all of these things about how amazing it is and immersive and how incredible the entire experience is in and of itself. And here, Baby Cthulhu, I'm gonna put you on my shoulder. There you go. Hang out there, buddy. There. Somehow we'll get him figured out. There we go. He's gonna hang out on my shoulder. I had the chance today to sit down at a particular store location and have the chance to demo the Sony VR experience. And there are no words. There are no words. First of all, this was just pure happenstance. I was just in the store and happened to see that they had a thing that you could sit down and demo, and it was anyone that could demo. So this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just want to make that clear. I'm not being sponsored. These are my own views, that kind of thing. So I sat down and put the goggles on, and it was just an experience where I got to basically sit, and they did a demo video where, you know, it's just not a game necessarily, but oh, Baby Cthulhu, here, I'll put you here for now, buddy. There you go. Where you could choose one of several experiences. The one I chose was, I think it was called like Ocean Floor or Deep Ocean or something along those lines. Anyway, needless to say that I found myself at first basically staring straight ahead and not really doing a whole lot of looking around or anything like that, because I think partially I myself, just as a longtime video game player, have been used to that kind of, I'm looking at the monitor like I am right now, and I'm not going to move my head at all, because it's not my head that I use to look around, it's my right hand, you know, moving back and forth on the mouse pad like this. So instead, the person basically had to remind me, hey, you can look around. I mean, you know, move your head, look down, look up. And the moment I started to look down and look up and look behind me, I started to lose myself a little bit within the experience. Now, I will say that I have not had a chance to use the Oculus Rift nor the Vive. So this is not going to be a review of Sony's product. I'm not doing that. I'm merely talking about the chance to actually experience the current generation of virtual reality technology, and merely what that was like for me. What I will say is that I believe that most likely the experiences are going to be somewhat on par. So I feel comfortable giving some idea as far as how immersive it was, that sort of thing. There are some particular things I noticed about Sony's device that were a little bit immersion breaking, that maybe I'll get into, that kind of thing. But this isn't necessarily an overall review, because this was just a first time experience. So whatever it is that I say here, I would encourage you deeply to watch reviews from other people who have had a chance to do multiple experiences with all three of the kind of big current available devices out there, that being the Oculus, the Vive, and the Sony. So I would go to other people who have had a chance to get demo models, bring them into their house, and have multiple experiences with it. This is just a first blush experience, so this is kind of just me being excited about something and wanting to share it with you. So don't take, as they would say in Reading Rainbow, you don't have to take my word for it, which I suggest you look at multiples out there. Don't just base it on what I have to say. But at first, you look and you notice that the the depth perception that you get from the experience is unlike anything else. I mean, current day 3D movies are kind of hit and miss. Some you notice that there are things that are definitely in the background, midground, and foreground, and so it kind of gives you a little bit of a hey, I'm kind of here with these with these characters sort of moment. But again, you're looking at a static screen. So when you look to the left and right, the screen is still there. You don't look to the left and still have that same depth perception of these images. And on top of that, the depth perception itself is it's so much more immersive and incredible. You don't have this kind of weird sort of, I don't know how to explain it. Be quiet, you computer. You don't have this kind of weird sort of mismatched color shape, or somehow kind of a fuzzy border shape where you have glasses that are trying to force a dual image onto you, or you're having two images overlaid onto, or you're having two images that are overlaid onto one screen that your eyes are trying to make sense of, because you have actually two screens that are projecting these images simultaneously at both eyes. And it was just amazing how the moment I started to look around, I started to lose myself a little bit in the experience. And at first, it was just beautiful and amazing. I think that the demo that they put together was really well done, and it's there to kind of give you this idea of as far as what the scope of the technology can do. You're in this ocean setting. You're in one of those cages that you would go into, say, for looking at sharks underwater. So it's a metal cage that you're kind of sitting in, and then you get lowered into the ocean, and you stop at various depths and have the chance to kind of look around, look to your left, right, behind you, up, down, everywhere, and see what's in the ocean, that kind of thing. And at first, it's a tortoise that you see that floats by, and you're just kind of like, wow, this is amazing. And then the more you look around, the more you get lost in the idea of being there, as opposed to I'm sitting in a store, experiencing this. You kind of start to lose yourself in there, and then you go down a little bit lower, and then manta rays will drift by, and you're just like, oh wow, this looks amazing, and just it looks like they're really there, and you begin to understand that when you look at things on a computer screen, you get presented with, in games, I think the hardest thing that games have is giving you a sense of scope, because with the screen being static, they have to try and really do everything they can to trick you into seeing things as being immense or expansive. But when you have the goggles on, and literally everywhere you look, you are looking at this projected image that, my wife was off standing to the side, seeing forward what I would be able to see. And so, she's like, oh yeah, there's a manta ray, and it looks like it's about this big or so. It looks like it's about this big on the screen. And I'm like, yeah, it looks this big on the screen, but because it filled my vision, it looked, like it was this big. And it's right up and it's right up in your face, and so you're kind of taken aback by, whoa, there's something that's kind of getting in my area. And so then you go down to a third depth, and they start to introduce sharks. So, Jesse Cox, if for whatever reason, at any time, you happen to be watching this video, I don't know why you would, but if you do, don't do that experience. Uh, but a shark starts passing you by, and those sharks are huge and very intimidating. And then they start to like rub up against your cage, and the cage starts to move around. And what's weird is that uh, you get this kind of odd sensation of disorientation because your head, your brain thinks that that you're moving around like this, but your body doesn't feel that same motion. Um, and so that's I mean, it's just kind of trippy the way that works out. And then sharks start to actually come up and try to take a bite out of you. And uh, as I'm saying this, you're going to be seeing a clip of me kind of reacting to that, where I'm just kind of like, I mean, it looks like you've got these, huge 30-foot sharks with faces that are, 4 or 5 feet wide, that are just up in your face trying to bite you, and it's ugh. um so I mean, as far as a couple of the critiques that I noticed, I think the displays are not of the highest quality compared to Vive or maybe Oculus. I don't know. This is a complete guess on my part because I haven't experienced those yet, but I could tell by looking through that if you looked carefully, you could see the individual not necessarily pixels, but individual little boxes in the display, and that kind of would take you out of the experience a little bit if you focused on that. But if you just let your eyes rest on the images themselves and didn't try to focus on the display in front of you, you quickly got lost in the experience. So again, I don't know what that's like compared to others. Again, I stress, watch other reviews, because this isn't really a review. This is just kind of my first experience with VR. But all I have to say is, holy cow, holy guacamole, I am excited for VR. What we were promised in the late 80s, early 90s, I think is starting to arrive. It was an amazing experience. I felt this rush and high, like I'd just come off a roller coaster after it was done. And I can understand why people would feel a little disoriented and maybe even have headaches or even feel a little motion sickness, because it very much it really draws you into the experience. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's the video today. I just wanted to share this with you guys and just kind of say, wow. When I have the opportunity, definitely will be getting VR. And just, oh my goodness, guys, if you are walking through any sort of big box store that gives you the opportunity to sit down and experience this, give it a shot. It is mind blowing. So that is me, and this is Baby Cthulhu. And we both say bye, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Me 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 me. Goodbye, Baby Cthulhu.